I'm joined here by Einne O'Connor and Philip Talty, two stalwarts here with the Eire team. I'm in the Eire clubhouse tonight, and it's about a week out, a little bit more than a week out from the big county football final. How are you feeling, lads, after the weekend? You had probably, I suppose, an easy enough win.
It's still a tough game now. I know the scoreboard didn't really say that at the end, but still a tough game. Curfin gave it up to us for a good half, anyways, and put away at the end.
Yeah, it's still very tired and tough, very tough first half. So.
Yeah, I suppose coming up to half time, they were still with you, and then you got a point before half time. They missed a point, so it would have been a bit closer. Like, but the second half, and you just came out, especially in defence there, like you were in a mean mood, as they say.
Yeah, look, we needed up it, like the boys were saying at half time, like we needed up it massively. We probably weren't happy with our own performance, giving away a lot of turnovers, a bit sloppy, but thankfully we were able to up it. Boys off the bench made an impact as well, and probably just as people started to tire, we started to play, kind of the performance just started to shine through.
Yeah, your defence there. I mean, Aaron, Aidan, Ronan, Kieran, and Manus, and yourself. Like, I mean, you're just is such a solid group, and I mean, one is better than the next, really. Like, and that's been the mainstay of your team. Like, that's the foundation that is built on. Like,
yeah, look, we do pride ourselves on our defence. Like, having conceded a goal this year or last year, haven't conceded many shots even on our goals either. But yeah, most lads in there have inter-county experience, so we'd be expecting a lot from them.
Yeah. And you've Shane behind you there, a man with an awful lot of experience. Like, and I think does he do a bit of coaching with you as well?
So he was a selector.
Yeah.
A selector,
selector coach. So yeah. So he only retired there a year or two ago, but he came back.
Yeah, and he's having a great career in the autumn of his career, if you like. But you're facing in now to a kind of unknown territory in Innistoimon. I don't know if you've played them that often in the recent past, and probably Innistoimon are a little bit of a surprise team to be here in the final again, even though they were there a few years ago. Like, but they're back again.
Yeah, we actually played them last year in the quarterfinals. It was a very tough game. Now we beat them 1-5-4, I think.
Oh yes,
very low scoring game. Now it's quarterfinals,
yes,
but it's definitely a tough game, all right. And look, they're there. They beat some very top quality opposition in Quilty and St. Brecon, so they 100% deserve to be there, and we're going to have to be on our game to put it up to them.
Yeah, that was an amazing game, Philip. There, the Innistoimon Quilty game. I don't know if you were watching it, or I suppose you had a look at it.
Yeah, it was very high quality game. Like, it was very intense from the first minute. And Simon bring that, and we know that well because from playing last year as well. And they've been excellent really throughout the championship, beating Brecon as well the same way. So, to expect a very high, tough battle.
Yeah. You knocked over two great points there at the weekend. You might have had a few more as well. You were all over the pitch there in that forward line, and you're going really well. Like,
yeah, no, I was lucky to get a couple of points. Right, it was good team effort to get the ball up to us in the positions, and could have got a few more as well. But hopefully, come now. Day of the final. So.
You've good company there in the full forward line with Gavin Cooney and Mark McInerney. He form a lethal full forward line, really. Like,
Yeah, definitely the boys are excellent. We've seen that throughout the championship and last year as well. It's very nice playing with them. We've played together now for a good few years, really. Kind of Gavin's, we're all close in age, so played the minor and 21 together, now the senior as well. So kind of know how to play with them and stuff. So it's all good so far anyway.
Yeah. Outside you then, you have Niall McMahon and Igam and Oran. Yeah. Niall especially is a man who covers every blade of grass, and he does a lot of the hard work, so he can get the glory in and we put the ball over the bar. Like.
He sets the standard, and we all have to get up there and do the hard work as well. Always pride ourselves now as much as we can get turnovers, as much as scores on the board. So we all know how important the defensive side of the game is, and everyone working hard together.
Yeah. Darren Lynn and David McNamara is another man who just covers the ground. He just eats up ground, But Darren Lynn, he gives you a huge advantage there in midfield. Inter-county midfielder. Yeah. Nobody's going to beat him in the air. He's a superb player and will able to get forward.
Exactly, and you see that on training. He's always his hard work, and he shows his kind of he sets the standard of what to get up to, and he's a huge asset to our team there, and he's always leads by example. He's top man like on the pitch, obviously, and off the pitch as well to be get up to that
Yeah,
standard he sets.
yeah. You know, your announcement has been, making headlines especially since last year. Like you really burst onto the scene last year when you won the county title. What does it feel like to be in there? You're one of the best wing backs in the game now. There's no doubt about that in the county. Does that give you added pressure? Like, there's an awful lot expected. I suppose it's expected of both of you, really. Like, but
No, I wouldn't find much pressure there. Like even look, we have a bit of experience now from last year. Maybe last year there was a bit more pressure on us, but I
yeah,
feel this year kind of the shackles are off now. And sure, as you said, you kind of look around you and see all the quality in our team. Like you're not going to feel
yeah,
under too much pressure because if you don't perform, someone else is going to perform, and as well we have subs come on anyway. So I wouldn't feel
yeah.
under too much pressure now at all.
I got the feeling that you kind of timed your run this year, if you know what I mean. Like you didn't shoot the lights out earlier on in the championship. You just did what you had to do, get out of the group, and now you're coming really right into it. Probably at the perfect time, really.
Yeah, I feel like that was the same last year though, because we don't get a lot of time spent together at the start of the championship because all the inter-county lads, so all the inter-county like hurlers and footballers. So it takes a few games for us to kind of gel and get going. But when we
Yeah,
get going now, tough to beat.
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Philip, what do you know about Innes Diamond? Would you have played them underage up along?
Yeah, of course. I suppose they have a lot of lads around our goal as well. So we've played on geez, a lot of good battles of the minors and 21s. They've often came out on top, so we know what to expect. Like all
Yeah,
a lot of their teams from kind of same age as us, so very good players and always had tough battles with them through the years.
yeah. Paul Madden is your manager now, and he's brought you to obviously the county final and winnings. And that I would imagine Paul is a very strict guy I'd say you have to toe the line. I suppose I would imagine that's his approach to management. I could be completely wrong.
Paul, he's excellent help there. He's very professional. Everything from trainings to day of match days, everything's top quality with Paul and all the backroom team, Shawnee, Cozzy, Tom, Rory, everyone. They all. It's really good to be them to have them
Yeah,
as our management team. It's very
yeah. They're knowledgeable and wise men.
yeah,
And when the change is needed or whatever is needed,
yeah, definitely.
Shawnee Buckley, Shawnee's a Limerick man, isn't he? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been living in it so for a good while.
I don't know, is he living that? Is he or
Yeah.
I'd have to ask him.
not sure. It could be, yeah. I'm not
Yeah, he
100%
lived.
sure.
I know this because he lived in my nephew's house out in the Lahinch Road. And that he was still playing for Limerick that time. So
Yeah, he's a great Limerick player, all right.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I've heard anyways.
yeah, and he brings a lot like into coaching. He's got huge experience. That was a great Limerick team that he played on. They went to Munster final. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
He even won a Munster club with his,
As well. He's great addition to the setup.
yeah.
It's very
When I drove in here this evening, I was in here very early. I was here about 7:15. I couldn't get a parking space. And there's young lads out there, and there's young lads over here, and there's mothers and everything, and the red and white flags are up.
yeah.
I mean, there's a great buzz. For me to come in and see that, that's fantastic. Like, I mean, it's so. Are you aware of what's happening around the town? The excitement of like, there's lads up in pubs now talking about doubles, and I know you don't want to hear that, but they are talking about this great Aerobe football and hurling team. So does that's something you keep out of your mind, or
we are aware of everything now, but you try and keep it out of your mind. We just take it one game at a time, as everyone's been saying. Like, so far, you're probably sick of hearing it. Like, but look, there's a good buzz around town, as you said. Like, and
Yeah.
you try not to get caught too much up in it. Like, but
Yeah, I don't want to add to it, but it's not just another game. This is a county final, and county finals. I tell you one thing: there's a lot of people out there never got to county finals, so so it's a huge occasion. Like, and as I say, like, but you were there last year. That's really got to stand to you. Like, that you won the county final last year, and you've been knocking the door for a while, but you finally got off the line in great style, and great county champions, obviously.
Yeah, I think last year has probably made us even more hungrier this year.
definitely.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
We just want to look club. I don't think Aire's done back-to-back in football ever. So hopefully, we have a massive game against Ennis Simon. It's going to be 50-50. They're going very good. And look, hopefully we put on performance.
History in the making. When you go home, lads, do you get a bit of pressure at home, whether they leave you alone or do you go to your rooms or whatever?
Left alone, really, to be fair. It's not,
Yeah, it's similar.
they go to the games, alright, but
Yeah,
not too much pressure.
not too many questions about what the line out is going to be or anything, I suppose.
We wouldn't tell them anyway.
You wouldn't, I'm damn sure you wouldn't. Yeah, for sure. But and Philip, it's great. Thanks for coming out and talking to me. You know, you're great. I go up to Cusick Park and I watch you guys. I mean, it's the entertainment you bring is fantastic. I can really enjoy last year's county final. If this year's is going to be as good, I'd be going home happy anyway. So congratulations, lads, to getting to the final. And we'll see what we'll talk about next week.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, lads. Thanks very much.
Thank you.